Hello, America. Shadow Knight here. We want to talk today about an issue that I'm seeing on social media that's very, very disturbing. We got these elementary schools, apparently, out here teaching children Sharia Law and to practice Sharia Law. What are they thinking? Here's the thing. The United States of America, in our Constitution, it makes it very clear we have the right at birth of freedom of religion. Freedom of religion means we can practice our religion freely without fear of persecution of the government or of others. It's actually one of the very few rights that pertains to anyone. People can violate a person's right to freedom of religion. Other rights people can't violate. The system can, because they're specifically stating the system is to not do that. Now, in the 1970s, there were a bunch of nut jobs, atheists, specifically, some that were other religions, but it's predominantly an atheist thing, sat there, had a big fit about the people of the school doing out loud prayer in the mornings of the school and during sport events like football games. Football games was a big point that they made. That every football game they're praying and it's a problem. Every morning they're praying on the loudspeaker and it's a problem. They cried so much that they actually got accepted for a hearing with the U.S. Federal Supreme Court, who ruled that open displays in the school is a violation of the rights of the people of other faiths. They even continued on. I'm pretty sure it was shortly after, but they went further. They did go further. And they said people praying in their little segregated groups is just the same thing, because the other people know what they're doing. Even if they can't hear it, they know what they're doing, and it violates their rights. That's a bunch of crap, because that means the people who are praying's rights are being violated to practice freely amongst themselves and each other. They're not forcing it on anybody. They're doing it in their own little groups. But no, it's not allowed. It is a violation of freedom of religion. The governing body cannot pursue a certain standard of religion for the people, because it also violates separation of church and state. Because it would be a governing body pushing a standard of religion on people. Now, sounds to me like that's exactly what they're doing, teaching these kids Sharia law. I don't see how anyone at all in their right mind cannot see it the same way. It's a problem. I understand the people of Islam will practice Sharia law their way in their own little segregated groups. That's their deal. They have that right. As much as everybody wants to disagree with it, they have that right. But they can't go out and attack people in public. That's a criminal offense. They can't break the law. But when they're in their homes, when they're in their mosques, when they're in their own little groups, or they're out in public doing stuff that's not violent, that's under Sharia law, and there is a lot that's not violent on it. They practice it their way. Good for them. I have no problem with anybody of any faith based on their faith. If a person is a complete asshole, I'm going to treat him like he's an asshole. If a person is just awesome, I'm going to treat them like they're awesome. End of story. I don't care what religion they are. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what part of the world they come from. I don't care about anything else except for the person. That is the issue. But these nut jobs go out and they cry and cry and cry. Oh, they're praying in the school still. We got to put a ban on it. And then the schools are now trying to teach the children Sharia law. How is that not pure hypocrisy? It's already been declared federally. It is a federal violation to do it. So why is it happening? Why is this a topic? Why am I talking about it right now? Because a bunch of nut jobs think they can do whatever they want and they will have no consequences because they've been told that as long as it protects your feelings, you can do it. And you can refuse anything that hurts your feelings. Get over yourself. Grow up. If you're not going to accept one religion being taught around the kids in the schools, then you shouldn't be allowing any of it. But by the way, 90% of history, all pre-Roman history, comes from the Bible and the Quran, a combination. The Bible being the combined Christian and Hebrew texts, and then segments of the Quran. That is the only history they have documentation of prior to the Roman Empire. So where everybody gets they're not teaching religion, they're teaching it in history. There you go. 4 of the days of the week are named after ancient culture's gods. One of the days named after a demigod. Then one day is named after the sun, one's named after the moon, which are both under the basis of the religions, not just the sun and the moon. You know, there were sun gods, there were moon gods, and that's where they came up with that. So they've been teaching religion from day one, and they never stopped. But they weren't doing it in a way that was hurting anybody's feelings, so nobody made an issue about it. Either other people are just too stupid to understand it. But now they're sitting there, these same people who are having a fit. Oh, they're praying in our schools, teaching children Sharia law. You're fools, and you deserve what's coming to you. You don't want us telling you what's right and wrong, what to believe. You don't need to be telling us and our children what to believe. You leave that to our religious sect, and we'll leave your religious sect to you. We know what's going to happen in the end, just like you feel you know what's going to happen in the end. Hey, it is what it is. Everyone will believe what we believe. But don't go thinking it's okay to just teach a bunch of kids segment of one religion and claim that it's tolerance when you're being completely intolerant of another. That is hypocrisy. But all you people preaching tolerance, that's all you are, is a bunch of hypocrites. You're full of it. You don't deserve your place in this world if you're going to sit there and be a hypocrite in such a way that you're going to go against one thing and then teach another. That's the complete opposite. Just because you're trying to teach them to be tolerant of people. These children don't know what you're teaching them. They're just trying to be kids. They're just trying to learn. They're just trying to have a good time and be kids. Let them be kids. Fact is, every single one of these people in the schools teaching them should be jailed for committing federal violations, deliberate encroaching on the people's rights. I just can't wait until a non-Christian and non-Jew comes out and says, I'm offended by this. This is not going to be taught to my child, and they take it to court too. Because when that happens, then they'll stop, because they'll say, oh, we can't do it because it's violating their religious freedom, just like they did back in the 1970s and again in the 1980s. No, you're not teaching tolerance. You're teaching hypocrisy. You're teaching destruction. You're teaching mayhem. You're teaching total control, totalitarian system ideology, and a fascist system. You are a traitor to freedom. You are the enemy. We don't have to put up with it, and we won't. I guarantee you, I find out that's being taught to any of my kids in school. You're going to be seeing me in court. ain't going to happen. You don't have a chance. That battle's already been fought and won. If I was not able to, if my children are not able to practice our religion openly in the schools, you have no place trying to teach them the other religion. That is a violation of our religious freedom. It's persecuting us for being what we are and who we are. As for standard of the law, you're enemies of the state. You're going to be encroached upon in the same manner in which you are encroaching. And as the old saying goes, the piper will pay the fiddler. That is your daily dose of the truth.